Hello, everybody. Welcome to Friday Dye Day. So if you
Hi.
can, hi. So if everybody can help me and just keep their cameras shut off, I really appreciate that. Oh, isn't it great to be back at this again? This week we're going to make uh, some black pearls. They're really not going to be black, but we're going to make dark pearls. Before we begin, though, it came to my attention that I sort of need to explain a couple of things. One, I'm Wanda Kerr. Two, I have this sort of umbrella that I work under, and I was trying to help somebody understand how that all works, and I thought of a town. So in the town, my website, wandaworks.ca, is the grocery store, right? You can go there and you can buy things that you want, like wool or some of my magic carpet dyes or other things that I have going on, like classes and such. And my other network, it's called, is the Welcome Mat. And it's like a library in the town. You can go there and learn whatever it is you need or want to. And it has volumes after volumes after volumes of information to find out about how to be a more interesting dyer and colorist when you're making your rugs, and how to make beautiful designs and all kinds of stuff like that to help you bloom and be the great artist that you want to be. So I hope that explains that a little bit. What else do I want to say to you? Oh, I want to thank my sponsors. So I have sponsors that help me provide this show for you because it is free for everyone who comes to watch it. And those sponsors this week are Deb, Maria, and Judy. Now you can become a sponsor too. You can go to wandaworks.ca and search for Friday Dye Day. You can shoot me some bones there if you want to. And you can also just send me money via PayPal. You just have to send it to WLM@bmts.com. So I hope that helps you understand what goes on here. So today we're going to make a beautiful, interesting set of darks. And I'm going to do everything all at once in the same pan, but you of course can create warm ones or cool ones or whatever you want. But first I'm going to have a little fun because I always like to make a little piece of weird wool. And this piece of wool got a little stain on it a while ago. And so I'm going to put it in the bottom. It's natural wool. And then I'm just going to ignore it. I'm going to pretend like it's not even there. It has a few little wrinkles in it, and it's 1/8 of a yard because that pretty much just fits perfectly in this pan. So I have 3 wools that I'm going to put in this pan. I have a cool one, 1/4 yard. And I'm just going to kind of make it fit in 1/3 of this pan. Sometimes we have to wait for this pan's water to heat up, and you'll see me just sticking my fingers in it, but I heated it up before today. So I'm like, I better be careful. I don't want to get burnt. All right. Now I have this piece, which is called Go Your Own Way. And it has sort of a cooler side and a warmer side, even though the warmest color is orange and it's right here. We're just going to pretend that this is the warm side and this is the cool side. Okay, because there's a preponderance of cool here, so I'll let that pass. And I'm going to put the cool side of it closest to the cool side of my pan. I'm really cramming these things in here because this is part of the party of making these black pearls. So I've chosen medium valued wool. They're not dark. I don't know if a lot of people I run into have difficulty knowing what dark is. And they're always lighter than what I send them for. So if I send them to my wool pile and I say, I want you to get it dark, they'll come back and they'll have something like this. But that's not dark. Look at my shirt. That's dark, right? And it could even be darker. Apparently they made a new black called Vanta Black. And I'm thinking, oh, I can hardly wait till they have that in a dye for acid dyeing. I might really enjoy Vanta Black. It supposedly looks like a black hole. It's very, very dark. All right, so now I've got this sort of evenly spread out. You can see clearly I've got like sort of 1/3 filling each 1/4 yard in this pan. And I've got mountains and valleys in the water. I've got mountains above it. Ouch. Now I'm gonna mix up my dye. Don't worry, no color mothers were hurt in this experiment. So I always, you might use a kettle, but I don't want to have my kettle over here. So I'm always going to be delving into my pot here for my hot water. Looks like I didn't clean that out last time, but because we're making it dark, it doesn't matter. It would matter if I was making a light color because that would really be influential. So I'm just going to clean this out a little bit, and I'm just going to pour it over here on this warm part because I'm having a warm, cool, purposeful dyeing application. And I'm probably putting a half a cup of water in each time. You want to be present in mind, you can only put so much water in this pan or it will overflow. So over my cool half, because this wool is kind of split in half, I'm going to put 1/16 of brilliant green. You can hear it bubbling away. And that probably to you seems like quite a bit of wool or quite a bit of dye, but don't forget, this is a 1/4 yard of wool I have in here and I want to make it darker. So therefore, it should be dark. So I'm just going to pour it in spots. I can pour it in lines too if I want to, but I just sort of want to distribute it kind of interestingly over this wool. I kind of like when things are knit together like this in the pan because then I get some interesting flow between the two modalities I'm going to dye. So now I want 1/32 of blue violet. I have all the names written on the top of my cap, so I don't have to keep picking up a jar and trying to see what's in it. But you can see they're starting to get worn out. And I need to redress that. That's no good. I can't read what's on there. I think all these little things help us to be better dyers. Okay. So mixing up that 1/32 of violet. I'm not using the same amount because I didn't feel like it. This dye is quite a bit darker. Maybe if I wanted to, I could use more, but I don't want to. So I'm gonna make sure that I pour some right on that orange. You'll notice too, I am not moving this wool and I'm not manipulating it anyway. I'm letting it stay right where it is. Now I'm going to move on to the next color, which is 1/16 of blue. Now it's not going to make as much of an impact on this teal colored and green colored wool because it's very close in value. This dye is to what I'm dyeing it over. Well, I want to make sure that I make it a little bit darker so I make more impact. And again, I'm just going to pour it in spots. Hopefully where I can see I don't already have dye poured. But when you're making darks, it's sometimes hard to determine. So just do your best. Now, in the reverse of fortune, I am going to put yellow on. And that is because these little surprises are what makes the pearlescence happen. It's what makes the joy come to this wool because not only does it influence the color below, what I'm dyeing over, it influences all the colors that I'm using. So again, though, I'm gonna just be careful about what I do. Just gonna kind of pour it over. And now I'm going to move on to my warm side. So I can add acid to my cool side now, or I can wait and add it when I'm ready. I think I'm going to wait and add it when I'm ready and I'll finish everything. And the reason for that is because sometimes I like to move the colors around a little bit. So I might push this way, push that way. We'll see. I want to be able to be free to do that. And if I have already added the acid, then what I put down on this wool is going to stay there. It's not gonna be movable. It's gonna lock in and lock on. So now we're moving to the warm side, and I'm gonna use some warm colors. And this is because if I oppose it, or I put orange over here on the cool colors, I would just get masses of gray. And you know what, or brown or something like that. And I don't want that. I just want to enrich these so that they're lovely and luminescent and appear to contain many shimmers of color. You know what a black pearl looks like. I don't have to explain to you. Okay, here we go. 1/16 of orange. I'm also, just so you know, if you haven't seen me before, I don't get all hysterical about my measures, and I'm more generous than I am scant. So remember that if you're trying to make an exact color of mine. So I put orange over, and I'm really not going to be able to tell with the warm one, especially if much is happening, because I just have to have faith that I'm making changes. So I poured that over, and this one I'm going to add in spots. So it's reddish brown, and I'm going to use, excuse me, 1/32. Now both of these are going to make a sort of enriching difference to these colors I have on the warm side here. And you just saw some poured over on the cool side, and that's really, no one cares. It's all okay. And now for a little twist or turn of fortune, I'm going to add moss green, because so far I've just been echoing sort of the colors that are already on there. I'm going to add 1/16 of moss green, because again, this is what creates my shimmer. So this is still a warm color, but it's right on the edge of being cool. I don't know if you know about your warm and cool colors, but if you do, makes solving rug problems and dyeing so much more fun. I gotta remember that I got this one over here too, my middle one. I'm just seeing that color and I quite like it, so I was just ignoring it. But I can't. Okay, now for an even further twist of the knife, I'm gonna add 1/32 of bottle green. But first I have to find it. Yeah, it's almost worn right off the cap. Does anybody have any questions for me? I'll make sure that I'm going along the edges too, because often they get overlooked. Okay. So that's all the colors I'm gonna add. And now I'm gonna take, I think I have my masher here. If I don't have my masher, like a plastic potato masher, I can just use the bottom of a jar. Now I must have taken it home. I need to get a second one for my other location. So I can just press down. There's quite a bit of water in here. I'm just gonna press it down, not too much. I think I'm feeling pretty great about how things look here. So this just smooths out the edges of color. And now I'm just gonna do the most heinous thing ever. I'm just gonna pour old stink over everything. I'm just gonna stink it up. That's what I'm gonna do. I think I wanna use my bigger measuring cup. I have to be careful of this too. Can you hear that noise? That's the noise it makes when it's gonna spit at you. Nobody wants that. Okay. So now I'm gonna take sort of a 16th, I think, of old stink. Is there anything anybody wants me to ask or wants to ask me about any other thing that they're dyeing or doing or? Don't be shy. You can ask me whatever you need to.
Hi, Wanda, it's Patty.
Hi, Patty.
I just wanted to say thank you for your joke about stinking it up. I needed that this morning.
We need to stink things up unabashedly. Okay, there we go. Pouring old stink all over it. Now I'm going to add my acid. Aren't you curious about what's going on underneath there, Patty? With that white piece? That's all I can do not to take a look at it. Listen, there's a market going on outside. And when I said that, aren't you curious? Blah, blah, blah. And somebody outside said, no. Yeah, I guess I got my message. Go ahead, Patty.
I just came in late. I lost track of time. So I didn't even know there was a white piece underneath.
Oh, there's a piece of natural underneath, 1/8 of a yard. Yeah. So now I'm going to turn this up.
Hey, Wanda, it's Diana. How much acid did you put in there?
Oh, I put, because it's a dark color, I put in 1/4 teaspoon.
Okay. And I missed it. With the yellow, did it go on the cool side or the warm side?
It went on the cool side.
That's what I thought. Okay.
It went on the cool side, because that's my little twist up, you know? Because
I love it.
If I just keep adding cool colors to cool side, it will be not nearly as interesting as when I add an opposite color. Not exactly opposite.
Right. But it's warmer. Yeah.
Right. It was opposite to the violet. Yeah. It's like, but violet wasn't my main player. So, yeah. And to just keep putting browns and oranges over this brown would have created the same sort of thing. Like it's like me wearing this black dress. Like how tiresome. And then I put this necklace on and then it looks better. Or I might have put on like a really being adventuresome gray and black vest or something. It just elevates everything if there's something else coming into things, with dressing, it's pattern, and with color, it's adding something that we wouldn't actually think we would want, but it's shocking how much joy it makes.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you, Wanda.
You're welcome. So where is everybody watching from? I mean, don't say your house. You can say your general location. Go ahead.
I'm in Vancouver Island.
Great. You must have got up early.
Well, it's 8 a.m. my time that this started.
What a day. What a way to
Great way to start the day.
Pardon me?
OSHA.
Boy, we're coast to coast. It's a good way to start the day with a little dyeing session.
Newfoundland.
Inspired. Jane's still in Newfoundland. I hope you're having a nice time, Jane.
Paducah, Kentucky.
Yeah, it's hard to go back.
Anybody else?
Alex from London.
Good. Welcome, Alex.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
It's good to have you.
Paducah, Kentucky.
Oh, who's that? Say who you are. Is that you? It's okay. I thought it was Cheryl. I wasn't too sure. I thought, is that somebody else?
Yeah.
Now, shockingly, the water's almost clear. So we won't have too much longer to wait. Does anybody have any questions they want to go ahead?
Would you repeat again the site that you said? Because I went on to try to make a donation for the dye show today, and it just wanted me to sign up for the yearly service.
Oh, you were trying to do that on the welcome mat. So if you want to go to wandaworks.ca and search for the link that brought you here, Cheryl, then you'll be able to make a donation. And also thank you for your donations you've made in the past. It's really great and I appreciate them. Yeah.
Okay.
Everything helps. Yeah.
Wanda, is the donate button not at the top of the main page of the welcome mat anymore? There used to be. That's what I always used to do.
Yeah, I think it is there, but I think it's hard to see because there's a pattern that's close to the same value, but I'll check into that because I haven't looked lately. Yeah, there's a lot, there's a lot of strangeness going on with the welcome mat right now, and I thank everybody for their patience. I'm in daily conversations with the people who run it, but every once in a while, people will go to the site and they'll see a blank page saying that, that website doesn't exist, but of course we know it does. And they can't get into the network, so there's some things you can try. You can try being patient first, because lots of times I'll be at work and I suddenly won't be able to get on. I'll go home and my laptop will let me on. So you can try different devices. You can try a different browser. So if you always use Chrome, say, you can try using Safari if that's open for you, or some other one. I don't know the names of any other ones right now, Firefox or Foxfire, whatever it's called.
I've been using DuckDuckGo.
And that works good for you, Patty?
I haven't had a problem.
Yeah, I know some other people, I think it was Heather said she has never had a problem. Yeah, so people could try DuckDuckGo. We don't really know what's happening because it's happening intermittently. And then there's some people who haven't been able to get on for weeks because just the time they're able to, it doesn't seem like it's working properly. So I'm super apologetic and I'm mad. I don't get angry very easily, but I'm fuming about it because we paid good money for that service, and I've paid very good money for that service, and I'm not very happy it's not working well. So just have to be patient. I think they're getting to the bottom of it. Yeah. Does anybody else have anything that they wanted to ask about or talk about?
Wanda, it's Alex. How much dye would you be putting into the electric pan? If I added up all the dye that you put in there this morning, like would you not exceed 1 teaspoon of dye in total, or more or less?
Well, I will add it up for you, but I'm not going to math right now because that's not my strong point. But the most measurement I used was 1/16. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. So
Right.
that's
Right.
not even a half a teaspoon, right? And then I
Right.
have some 30 seconds. I have another 16th and 30 seconds. That's 6 and then 7. So I haven't even reached half a teaspoon. But I have to say to people that there's a big bugaboo that you can't add, excuse my language, a shit ton of dye to things. If I wanted to, I could have added a 1/4 teaspoon every time. You just have to be more patient and wait longer and add far more acid for it to take up. Acid should be equal to the amount of dyes that you're adding. So your ratio, it shouldn't be the same amount, but if you use a lot of dye, you use more acid. And that's something people don't often do. They just think, oh, it's never going to take up because the wool can't absorb any more color. But that's not true. And sometimes I have a few recipes that take like 5 teaspoons of dye over a half a yard. And I do those in the oven though, where I can have all over heat and it helps it take up more productively. But it does take longer. Yeah, and we should be prepared for that. Does that make sense, love?
Yes, I think that's what I misunderstood. I thought there had to be a certain total of dye.
No, no,
Okay.
no.
According
If
to the
you,
amount of wool fabric.
no.
Okay,
If
good.
you've been told that, you've been fed horse shit.
Thank you.
It's not actually true. And you know something, I was really interested because I had some guests here on the weekend and just about how people don't know common things. I'm not saying you don't know this, but they don't reckon that we can just wet our wool in a minute by using Synthropol. They think that we have to go through this long, laborious process of, having it overnight soaking, and some people still use dish soap. For the love of monkeys, if you're going to use anything, help me and use shampoo. It's meant to wet hair, and wool is hair. Now here's my white piece. It's too hot for me to show you, but I'm gonna run it over here to the sink so it's handleable. So I think there's a lot of antiquated thinking, and it reminds me of this old joke where this young woman gets married and she buys a pot roast, and her husband sees her cutting it up and putting it in 2 pots. He goes, what are you doing? And she goes, oh, this is what my mother always did. And so when he next sees the mother, he says, why do you do that? Oh, she goes, I had so many children and I had to get such a big pot roast that I could never have a pot big enough to put it all in. So she cut it. But this person just did it without thinking, oh, I don't need to do that. So here's our middle piece. So it has a lot more interesting, get the water out of it, a lot more interesting color variations. If I had added more dye, then I would have gotten a much more dark piece, and you can do that too. But you can see how much more interesting it is. Now, here's my cool piece. And I took a photo of this before and after so that you'll be able to look back at it. You can see now it's a lot richer to look at and more interesting to use. They're not actually black, of course. In order to do that, you would never see what I was doing. So whenever I'm teaching to make darks, I give you a lighter amount of dye, but if you want that to be dark, you know what to do. Increase your dye spoon. So this was just like a plain old kind of horrible brown. And now it's really interesting. Like you can see the tree trunk in it, as I like to say, or the fence or any other thing. More is more. It helps our work. It does work for us and it leaves us less efforting. And here's my white piece from below. What do you think?
Gorgeous.
Isn't that amazing what happened with just a little bit of forethought and effort?
Beautiful.
Get all the wool bits off my hand. All right, my friends. Thank you so much for joining me. We're having another dye date on Friday. It slipped my mind what we're doing. But before we go, I do want to remind you I'm having a class next Saturday about the La Cloche landscape. And I'm going to teach you how to do it in my special method of going row by row. But I also want to show you how you can make a replication of a photo that way very easily. And then I want to show you how to create a group of 7-ish kind of flowing kind of landscape with the same scene. So that's on Zoom. If you're interested in it, you should go to Wanda Works and look up my online classes and you'll see it right at the bottom of the row. All right? So I hope to see you there too, so we can learn how to apply these interesting colors. All right, my loves, thank you so much. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, Wanda.
Thank
you're
you,
so
Wanda.
welcome.
Thank you.
Go forth and dye.
Thanks so much, Wanda.
You're so welcome.